Fit like Abdi, Danny Men here, and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2 Around the World in Time. So, we're going to do exactly what it says on the tin. We are going to send some modern trains, modern-ish trains, because these sprinters are kind of old now, but they're still on the go, back on our 1830s train line. Now, all the buildings and stuff are still 1830s, like the assets and stuff, the people. There is, when I fast forward to time at 2020 to get the trains I wanted, you can see in the distance there's a modern building there. In fact, there's quite a few. So we'll run on this. Yeah, this is a 158, and I've got a 185 in Transpennine service, going from sort of Bolton down to Liverpool. It's not a real route, but I just wanted a couple of different trains on the route. We've got a couple of northern 158s here. If we go to the line details, so there's this one, which is this is the ex-ScotRail one, so it's not fully incorporated yet. It's got the northern logos, but some of the other decals and northern advertisements and information have not yet been added to this train. It's still pretty much in its transition, it looks like. Here's a properly fleshed out northernrailway.co.uk, northern. It's got some of the other logos here as well for the Northern Train app, etc. So that's kind of cool. There's also an Arriva Northern, just thought I'd add it because why the hell not? It gives us a bit of variety on our trains here. Don't know why the doors at this side are opening. But that's kind of weird. And there's a Transpennine Northern rolling on here as well. This looks kind of cool. And in the background there you can see the Bolton and Liverpool, the Transpennine 185. Yeah, class 185. So that's going to roll around as well. Now we'll jump in all of these, but we're going to jump on this direct express route from Manchester to Liverpool. I've been checking through the timetable. There is one that pretty much stops everywhere. There's a Transpennine service, Liverpool Newcastle, that only stops at sort of Lee Green, Newton Lee Willows, and the Manchester Victoria, and then it heads up on its merry way up north. But yeah, we've just selected a northern train, and it's just going to go from Manchester to Liverpool. Now it's going to play complete havoc with some of the stuff. Train 3, yeah, all I need to do is turn you around. You're going to be going back empty. That is okay. Right, so let's go. It's going to be a bit laggy as we sort of push play here, but then it should ultimately sort itself out. There we go. There you go. There's a it's a Northumberland. It's a rocket. Oh, your doors are still open, dude. Oh, that's disconcerting. Are they still? They're closed at this side though. Okay, so we'll look at the train from this side. As you can see, we've still got the horse and carts. Basically, virtually in the few seconds, right? So there we go. That's a known thing. If the train gets confused and you send it back, it won't close its doors. So literally, for anyone standing in there, this could be a very cool little thrill ride for you. But yeah, we'll follow our 158. Yeah, and the virtually the few seconds that I swapped it to 2020 and set these trains out on the line to make sure that everything was going to work and it wasn't going to crash, etc. A lot of modern buildings, skyscrapers, high rises, office towers, etc. built on on some of the towns and stuff, and I was like, oh, but it's okay. I just wanted to see what it would look like. Modern trains running on our old-timey railway. Now this railway is going to change significantly over the times, so that'll be interesting. After this episode, so we're kind of done on the Manchester to Liverpool map for the moment. There we go, that looks kind of cool. Sure does. There we go. Yeah, so we're kind of done on this map for the moment. Next off, we'll be heading back to the Birmingham map, and for those of you who watched the Colebrookdale 1802 or 1801, that is where we're going. We're heading back there because we're going to be adding. What are we adding? I can't remember, but once we get to a depot, I'll figure it out. But there was a train that ran over there in the 1830s, and I'm going to get that one set up. I'm then going to set up a line for Invicta, which was a Steve M4 mod that was ported over from Transport Fever 1, and we will run that on the sort of northeast colliery line that it ran on, so that'll be pretty cool as well. And then we'll be heading back here. We'll literally be heading back here. The time will literally be roughly about 1835, and we are gonna throw on the patentees. Now, once the patentees are added, so the patentees will be added to the Liverpool-Manchester Railway, which is kind of cool. We will then be removing the rockets from this railway. We'll send them down to another railway down in Carlisle, which we also is a map that we've previously used. So that is on the Newcastle map. I think the Newcastle map extends all the way from east to west, and I think we could possibly get the Carlisle railway stuff in there. That's the plan, anyway. And then we've got some Great Western Railways, broad gauge stuff. Here we go. There's that grey Arriva train. How fast is this train actually going? 75 miles per hour, which is its top speed. So that's really nice. I upgraded all this track, so that should be kind of cool. There we go. The doors are still open, right? Yeah. Once that sort of once the modded early trains are done, the sort of 1830s stuff to 1850s, as I said, the patentee class will open up because a lot of European countries bought patentees, France, Germany, Belgium, so we'll be able to head over there and add some. So we've got the Der Adler for Germany, or the Eagle. We'll get that up and running. There's the Belgium one, whose name I have forgotten. There we go, that was the another train. Yeah, it was the other Northern in the same sort of livery. So we've just got like the Transpennine Northern variant to go. All the people will disappear from these stations. So yeah, we'll be able to go to other countries fairly soon. There was a few American trains that we can get running that ran before the 1850s. There's the other northern service. I should have added more northern services. I was going to add a sneaky little freight train in, but the problem is to make a decently sized freight train, I had the goods terminals or goods stations that I presently have are quite small. There's no need for them to be absolutely humongous at the moment. And when I tried to add a train that was like sort of over like 200 meters, it just didn't fit. It didn't fit in any of the stations, and I couldn't be bothered going around reworking all the track. I just wanted to upgrade this track to 75, and then get the trains on so that we could watch some modern trains going through 1830s Englandshire, which I thought was pretty cool. You're slowing down to 55 there, probably for that turn. Another thing I did realise is as well, there's our Transpennine service, that these 158s right here carry a total of 80 passengers. But there are so many passengers at the stations on the original save game. I would need literally tons of trains that carried 80 people to keep up with the amount of a backlog that we've got. So yeah, as you can see, I've removed all the steam trains from the map as well. That would have been kind of dumb, having steam trains, because as soon as one of these trains got behind the other steam train, it would have been it. Game over. Limited to 30 miles per hour, and the fact that most of them stop at every single station on the line. So yeah, not long ago, I would say something like maybe 10 more episodes of sort of dotting around, building up a couple of new railways, and then we'll be on to literally the vanilla stuff for 1850. So we'll have the D1/3 that ran in, was it Switzerland? We'll have the Russian type V1 or V2 or whatever it was. There were other trains that ran before that. I still need to do a bit of studying. I have to find out what they were. Yeah, and then we've got the American stuff, the Baldwin, but there was the John Bull that ran before as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting when we get to America. I think what the plan to do is to make each state on its own a megalomaniac size map. There's obviously 50 states, so that's 50 different maps. Some of them are bigger than others. For example, Texas is huge, massive. New York could be an issue as well, because obviously Manhattan is pretty wildly populated. We'll just have to see. We will see how we get on. There's been a lot of bridges modelled also. There's a lot of mods for bridges, sort of unique bridges out there. I was wondering if any of the American bridges for New York, for Manhattan Island, were going to appear. For example, I think there's a mod of the Brooklyn Bridge, if I'm correct. The standard in-game suspension bridge is basically like pretty much a Golden Gate Bridge. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Then what I'm gonna start doing from now on is literally going on to Google Maps and finding out what the actual existing railways are, because when it becomes time for this, just say we're at like 1990 something, and you've got the services here from Liverpool and Manchester. There are some that pretty much stop everywhere. There are others that are more direct and stop at only a few places. For example, this Transpennine service that goes from Liverpool to Newcastle will only stop at Lee Green and Newton Lee Willows, and then Manchester Victoria. But the problem is you'd have to quad track, because you're going to have stopping services and ones that are more direct, and you don't really, unlike real life, we don't have the space for trains. But here it goes, it's actually in. Right, we'll pause it there, and what I want to do is we shall come right back in just a second. So, we're back. The sunset mod is on, yay! So, let's run back with the sunset mod on. Which way were we facing the last time? That way, so we'll face this way. Yeah, well, train, hold on, I need to follow you. So this actually picked up 23 people that wanted to go directly to Manchester. So that means, even if this was an intercity train, 23 of the seats would be taken up solely by people that just want to go to Manchester. Interesting. Hold on just a second. Okay, back in action. Yeah, let's maybe not clip through the buildings. Are all the doors closed now? They are. Excellent. See the skyscrapers and stuff being torn down and remade into old 1850s buildings. Palm tree, other palm tree. So many palms. Right, so we're heading off again, back the way. Now what we'll do is, we'll jump on our Trans-Pennine service, but we'll do that with the night sky box on. Because these trains are a hell of a lot quicker. What? Why the hell is money appearing? Let's get rid of that. I only like to keep the towns, and every so often sometimes the industry is on. Right, we're going through the cut-in here. We're going to face plant this bridge. It's all good. Yeah, hopefully my high detailing skills will become better over time. We'll just have to wait and see. I've sort of got a hang of some stuff that I was finding difficult previously, so hopefully we should be better. I do want the buildings to build right on the tracks. I just don't want the random bushes and stuff to clip through the walls. There's the Trans-Pennine service that is going to Bolton. So I was checking on the old Google Maps. It looks like there's a Bolton. Is it Avanti West Coast or maybe another Trans-Pennine service or something that goes from Bolton to Manchester? There isn't really one that goes from Liverpool to Bolton. Yeah, you kind of have to go to Newton Lee Willows or St Helens Junction or something, and then transfer there onto a Northern or Trans-Pennine service. So that's interesting. But anywho, we're heading off. Windmill. I'd kind of like to keep the windmills in. I know we don't use windmills anymore, but there's probably a few heritage ones still kicking around that might look pretty cool. But obviously, these tracks are going to be extended out, and as I know from playing Train Sim, which has actually got the Liverpool to Manchester pretty much the full route on it. In fact, I watched Joe Dobson doing it, a route from Liverpool to Manchester not long ago, and the tracks look way different. It's I think it's quad. If I remember correctly, it's like quad tracked. A lot of the land beside the tracks has been lowered. But yeah, we'll go into Google Maps, and when the time comes, we'll be able to use Google Maps as a sort of reference for what the actual trains look like. There was another Northern service heading past there. So where are we? I think we're coming into St Helens. We are. There you go. There's the old timey palm tree as well. But yeah, there's the old wagons sitting in the sidings there. An old Northumbrian class. Across the bridge we go. See, this potentially could be screenshot. Yeah. Very cool. I definitely want a screenshot with cows. I recently tasted the McDonald's have got the McPlant. One of my friends tried it and he's like, I just taste exactly the same as a standard Big Mac. And I was like, really? Oh, we'll have to try that. I was kind of on the fence. I think my mind was playing some sort of trick on me. I was like, yeah, this just tastes the same. And then I was like, no, this is completely different. It's not something that I would eat regularly. It's just something I wanted to try out. I wanted to test the theory that plant-based sort of meat replacement is the same as the actual meat itself. But yeah, it was okay. I'll stick to my big tasties and my chicken legends. Those are my two go-to things presently at the moment. There's the Northern Trans-Pennine service. We're just going to skirt round the back of these buildings. We're going to go through that hotel, through that. Okay, let's maybe not clip through the buildings. Yeah, all the park side, all the passengers and stuff have left. But this is on a different save file from the original game that we were playing. This is on a separate experimental save game for doing stuff like this. Right, so what we need to do as well is, after we've done this, we're going to jump on a Bolton, a Transpennine 185, and we're going to run that with the sort of night skybox on the go, because I think that would look pretty cool as well. Oh, well, we're coming into like the Flow Moss area. All the other trains are past us. It must look weird with the the carriages at the side there. But when as I said earlier, when I fast forwarded to 2020 and I set these trains out to run, and literally about a minute was all that I had in 2020, and the buildings were upgrading at a phenomenal pace. The roads and streets in the cities were flooded with cars. We're gonna have some mega traffic problems in the future, I would imagine, but I want to keep the AI cars on because I don't want the map to look entirely barren. I've watched other YouTubers like Hansdampf. His stuff is really cool, the map he's working on at the moment, and he's literally set up routes for emplaced cars and trucks and vans, sort of cars hauling caravans, etc. He set up routes to run on those roads so they don't look completely empty. I was going to do the same, but I'm not sure which is going to be worse, having the AI cars or a ton of routes where cars are just sort of going to run. I want like every street to be used and have like vehicles and stuff on it. There you go, this is nice. As I said many times, I am a massive fan of the sunset and the night sky. Well, at least the dark sky skyboxes. They are absolutely phenomenal. Long may they live. Because the first night skybox actually broke. It was super dark. It used to have the moon in it like the dark sky one has. But I don't know what happened. Something happened. There has been a few mods breaking lately. The oil rig mod for the oil rigs broke as well. Now you can still place them as assets, but the fact that ships go out there and pick stuff up and then come back no longer works, which is a real shame because it was awesome. All we needed for that to be complete was an actual decent oil tanker, a seafaring oil tanker, none of this river boat sort of rubbish that we've gotten. That's the only problem. That's one of the main problems I have with Transport Fever 2 is that there are no sort of seafaring vessels. They're all like river vessels. I suppose the Zero is decently that, and the oh god, what's the Scottish ship called again? I can't remember. The Dendara? Yeah, they would be seafaring vessels, but everything else now, it's all river and lakes and stuff. Right, so we've made it here. Excellent. What I need to do now is we need to go to Bolton, which is over here. Hello, Bolton. Find your trains. So one is... Where are you heading, my friend? You're heading to Bolton. You have just left Bolton. Very nice. Where is this? Oh, they're only at Newton Bridge. Right, so I'll plan this out and then we'll jump on them with the night skybox added. And we are back. We're at Bolton. getting ready to jump on this Trans-Pennine service. Now, if this was more modern, this would be a through station, this Bolton station. And at some point it probably will be. And we'll head up to wherever this is. I can't remember the name of it. This needs to be lower down, it's way too high. I don't mind the mountains and stuff in the backgrounds. In fact, I think it looks pretty cool, but most of this is going to have to be lower down, I think. But yeah, so we'll head on the Trans-Pennine service. Where's the moon? There's the moon. The lights on these newer trains work way better than the steam trains. The steam trains don't have lights, so they're sometimes can be difficult to see, but yeah, where there's lights, we're all good. We've still got this weird blue line. I don't know why that is. But yeah, let's jump on our Trans-Pennine service as it heads from Bolton to Liverpool. And this will be kind of cool. There's some old trees there without any leaves. Into, where is this? Oh, Farnworth Station. Ooh, these look kind of weird. They're maybe a bit too new age. That's fine. It's going to be heading past this little farm here, and then off onto the Liverpool-Manchester Railway main line. Is there anybody actually here? Did anybody get on there? 60 of 60, wow. Oh, it's weird that this has got a sort of less of a capacity than the double united class 158s. But it's okay. Off we go. Trans-Pennine service. Now this thing should be decently fast, I think. There you go. We can get a NIMBY rails eye view here, looking down on the train as it heads along. All the doors have closed though, so that's a good sign. You can see the people inside. So these people from the 1830s. Okay, we're gonna have to jump on board. Oh, tree trunk, and then pop out there. There we go. We're still following the train, so that's nice. Awesome. Yeah, I quite like this. I like having seeing the new trains going about. We've been using steam trains for so many episodes now. I thought it'd be fun to have some new age trains rolling about, and it gives the the sort of new age train fans something to look at. That's really creepy. That looks so weird. It's like an optical illusion, those two windmills. What's at this side? Nothing, but the game is starting to build over at this side, which I suppose is fine. That is the ultimate goal, to get stuff to build over there. I need to get a road that goes across there to there. I think we'll have one here. Nah, it's going to be fine. Right, past the fields, etc. we go. And up over here. Yeah, that's where the coal line goes down here. And then we continue on. So I think the next stop station is Lee Station. There we go, past the farm area there. Ooh, there's a lot of people at Lee. A lot of people. Yeah, the blue line is kind of unfortunate. Where's the moon? Behind that church there. That's pretty cool. So it's amazing the difference, just having different skybox options. It just makes things look really cool. Obviously in the 1850s there's no street lights or neon signs or anything like that. See, that's got a neon sign on it right there. So if you were to use total darkness, the cities would be lit up because lots of them have got neon signs, and the street lights and it would light up as well. There we go. So we're heading off to the main line. What speed are you actually getting up to? 62, 63, 64, 65. Over the bridge there, past this little town, the unnamed town. Past the fields there are people literally walking. Ah, okay, they're walking to these industries here. That's where they are going. Now you should be cleared to head over to the other side. You are. Awesome. Now it is obviously going to go slower here on this section. Are you going to be able to come straight out on here? You are. Nothing in front. Nothing behind it. You can see that the stations also have lights, which are pretty nice as well. So that is at least going to illuminate some stuff. And that building there has its lights on, which is nice. Oh, we're bypassing that station. Yeah, I forgot. We don't stop at any of these places. The next stop is literally Liverpool. There you go. There's the other Trans-Pennine service. I think we stop at this one. Yeah, we're stopping here at Newton Bridge. That's fine. What did you pick up there? Unloaded people. Loading people. 60. Good. Yeah, it's still losing like £1 million. Don't know why that is, but once it offloads all 60 at Liverpool, it will probably be in money. Like you're only down 51,000, so he can make that back hopefully by the time he gets to the next station. Through the trees there. Where does this go again? Ah, yeah, that's going down to Widnes. What is that? Residential building. That's going somewhere. Ah, this is Wigan to where is that? Yeah, Warrington. So that would be part of the main line, right? The Avanti West Coast main line. Jump back on with you. Excuse me. Alright, there we go. There's a northern service. Excuse me, I've been sneezing so much lately. I think it's the dog. Right, past the cows. The moon in the distance. That could be a nice shot. Train going over the bridge. Very nice. Oh. So the frame rate's starting to lower quite a lot actually. I don't know if it's because we've got these new trains on here. I'm only getting about 35 frames, 30 frames at 2K. If I zoom out, yeah, I think it's OBS is eating up a lot of the GPU utilization. And I think the dark skybox and the sunset skybox eats up quite a lot of frames as well. But still kind of cool. It's still running pretty smooth. So there we go, other northern train. We're not losing massive amounts of frame drop. Alright, off you go. So you stopped at St Helens, but you don't stop anywhere else. Nice, it's good to know. I love the fact that all the little horse and carts as well have their own little lamps and things. That's a civilian one, so he doesn't, but ours do. There's a lot of people way in there. So many people. Alright, off we go. Now this should rack up a decent amount of speed here. Yeah, it's doing 71. Doesn't feel like it's doing 71, but it is. There's our castle ruins right there. The switch box. And then around we go. What is the top speed of this actually? Other northern 158. 100 miles per hour. I wonder if it'll get up to 100 miles per hour because it's a fairly decent section of track, right? It's up to 76, 77. It should just blow through Hoyton Station. And it should just fly through all the rest of the stations as well. 75. Perhaps maybe. No, it's 76. I couldn't remember if I'd upgraded all this track to 100 miles per hour or 75. Because I remember looking at the Class 158 and seeing that it only had a top speed of 75. And I was wondering whether I upgrade it to 100 or leave it at 75. There we go. This is a nice fast section through here. Still only doing 75, 76, 77, 75 again. I think it's slowing down for going through those stations. I think that is literally what's happening. We'll stay on top of the train here. I got up to 80. Then it's going to slow down to 75 again for going through here. Or is it? Yeah. 75 going through the station. Obviously later we'll have high speed through lines for stations, etc. Yeah, so go up to 80. It might have got up to a faster speed earlier on the actual Bolton Lee section of the tracks. And go Trans-Pennine Express through the bridge there and into Liverpool Crown Street. Right, did you actually make money from dropping off your 60 odd passengers? Not that it matters. Not too concerned if they don't make money, because this is obviously just a test save game, so we can do things like this. It'd be 937 quid, so this train will never make money, unfortunately. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. There's the moon in the background. As always, if you did watch this and you'd like to leave a like, comment or dislike, please feel free to do so. And if there is more you'd like to see in the future, then hit that subscribe button. But I've been Danny Min, this has been Transport Fever 2 around the world in time, and I will catch you later.